Okay, I like this vibe. Add a bit of warmth. Put in those drums. Ooh, okay. Mic check, 1, 2, 3.
We are good to go.
Hello and welcome, Candor people. Today we have Ashna joining us over Zoom, and she's a model. She's studying to become a doctor, studying for the MCATs right now. She was telling us before she was really tired, and she balances social media on top of all this, literally like a real life superwoman. But thank you so much, Ashna, for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
How's your day been today? You were telling me you had a lot going on today.
Yes, I am so busy all the time lately. I'm busy studying for the MCAT, and then I've been balancing like meetings with brands and stuff. And then lately, my new obsession is this app called Clubhouse. And so that's been eating up like all of my time. I have too much going on.
Jeez. And Barb, we complain about being seniors in high school.
Yeah, this year's been an interesting one.
It's
crazy.
It's just all over the place.
Yeah, it'll only get worse when you get to college. But
That's very reassuring. Sad face
But, like,
emoji.
honestly, college is so much more fun. Like it's so much more fun than high school. And I graduated last month, and it's been an amazing experience. Truly, I miss it so much already.
Oh my god, I can't wait to get into college. Literally just want to get out of high school.
Oh my god.
Want to get away from home, go to another state, have fun in college.
You're gonna leave and you're never gonna turn back.
Yes, I will be glad. But before we move on further, Ashna, we like to do a rapid fire round.
Okay.
1 minute, we're gonna fire questions at you, and whatever comes to your mind.
I'm ready, I think.
All right, I'm sure you'll be fine. Gar,
Okay.
you ready? I got
Yeah.
the timer.
All right.
All
I'm
right.
ready.
Start in 3, 2, 1.
What is your biggest strength?
My biggest strength. I'm really good at listening to people. I can give fantastic advice.
Okay. What is your biggest weakness?
I'm really stubborn, and I'm anxious all the time.
What is your spirit animal?
Ooh, my spirit animal, probably elephants. They're beautiful and they're gentle and so intelligent.
Yeah, definitely. What is your dream holiday?
Anywhere where my boyfriend is. Long distance is the worst. So if I could just teleport to him right now, that would be amazing.
I feel it. Who is your most favorite singer right now?
Singer, Oh Wonder. They're a relatively small band, but absolutely love them.
What is your most favorite dessert?
Dessert. Oh God. Mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Oh yes, that's definitely like a nice one. What is your favorite board game?
Board game. Oh God. Monopoly, but like the electronic version with the credit cards.
Oh,
And
that's
that's
like an interesting
time.
one. I've
Oh
never heard
God.
of that.
Okay.
Oh, you did a great job.
That was
Thank
a
you.
perfect one. It was like
Pretty
on
quick.
time.
That was so stressful.
Oh my
That was better than
god.
like most of the guests. Like they just can't think right away.
Yeah, we have so many guests that do like 3 questions. They're like,
I really tried.
oh my god, the electronic Monopoly makes it so much easier. No one
It's
wants to
so
deal with
fun.
that cash.
And like everything's in like millions of dollars
Oh.
instead of like $10, and so it just feels nicer.
I know, right? And you just feel so much more professional. Just using a card.
Exactly.
Like, who uses
Even though it's like
cash
this
now?
like cheap thing of plastic, but
Yeah, what are we living in the 1900s using cash? 2020s. We need to upgrade.
Oh my goodness.
But jumping right in, Ashna. I
Yes.
mean, since we were on the topic of like you having so much on your plate, how do you really balance all of this workload out with social media and everything?
It's not the easiest, that's for sure. I think the biggest thing that helps me is planning a lot. I have so much on my plate all the time, and I think the biggest thing that helps me just stay organized is planning. And my Google Calendar, and like I have like a little personal little notebook planner. Those are my best friends, because without those I would be all over the place. just because like there's always something going on, and so I think planning is just the biggest thing that helps me stay on top of my game.
Definitely. Like, I think planning is like very important. Not that like, especially in college, because you have like so much stuff going on around you.
Exactly. And I think I honestly like was not good at time management before, particularly in high school, but I think as soon as I graduated and I got into college and I started to have all of these things that I had to do, like planning and time management, just my ability to do those things skyrocketed.
Yeah.
That's literally so true. At least for me, because I like having structure in my day. And if it's like my desk is a mess or like I don't know where everything is, it's like my brain becomes a mess and it just becomes so much harder to do things. And then
Truly.
it's just like, why am I even doing homework? Let's just scroll through TikTok or something. And then I waste like half my day on TikTok.
Oh my
Not
gosh.
fun at all.
Yeah, TikTok is so addictive. Like you sit
In
on it and
fact,
like,
though,
yeah,
that's how I came across you and reached out.
yeah.
So hey, TikTok's not all bad, all right? You can meet
I
some
love
great
it. I
people
love
on
it.
there. You can meet some great people on there. But that's
I'm
definitely so true. Agree with you. And I mean, you're studying to become a doctor as well. I
yes.
think I read somewhere that you majored in microbiology.
Yes, yeah. So I graduated from the University of Illinois a semester early with a major in molecular cellular biology.
That's like
Wow.
so interesting.
Yeah,
Now,
Yeah.
especially in like today's time,
yeah,
all
for
these,
sure.
yeah.
And it honestly it was just like one of the best majors that prepares you for med school because it gets out all of your requirements out of the way.
Right.
So I had a lot of free time because I like didn't need to take any extra classes. So all the extra classes that I did take were all like neurology based or psychology based because I'm really, really interested in neuro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, me too. I love the brain. The
Just,
brain is
It's
literally so
so
cool.
it's
just,
so fascinating.
she's like the biggest ambassador for neuroscience.
Really, I
Yeah.
love
He loves it.
I I
it's so
I
fascinating.
like weird stuff about the brain. Like right now I'm reading about endogenous DMT and the pineal gland. I don't know if you
Why?
read about that.
Like just for funsies? Like
Yeah.
That's what,
Dude, it
yeah.
interests me. Like,
that's iconic. I took this one class. It was psychopharmacology. That was probably one of my favorite classes that I've ever taken. It's like how different drugs interact in your brain. The coolest class I've ever taken. It's so interesting. It was really hard, but it was really, really interesting.
oh my God. I would totally start talking about DMT, but we have better things to talk about right now.
Yes, that's
Not the
for
right
another
podcast.
podcast.
Yes, exactly. That's for
Oh
another
my goodness.
podcast. This is not the one for that.
Like
Maybe
a bit,
part
a
two. We'll
bit.
do a part two
Yeah.
DMT edition.
Oh my gosh.
But that's great. Wait, for like graduating a semester early, did you take summer courses or was that just your major enabled you to kind of graduate early?
Yeah, so every summer I was doing something or another. So I remember one summer I got both Physics 1 and Physics 2 out of the way through like a community college of mine. I would be taking like online classes, just like I would always be doing things over my summers to use that time. And then during the semesters, I would typically overload. So almost every semester I was taking up to 18 credits just because like I didn't have anything else to do. I mean, I did have other things to do, but it was just like I was best friends with I still am best friends with
Hmm.
my best friend, and we both just kind of pushed each other, and we were able to kind of get through it all. And so that really helped us. Somehow we both just finished early. We didn't realize it
Hmm.
until the beginning of last semester. We were like, okay, well, like, what do we actually need to be done? And then we checked, and we were like, okay, well, we're done. And so
Right.
might as well just call it a day. And
Yeah.
so it was very last minute, definitely not planned, but I'm
Hmm.
so glad it's over.
Well, congratulations on being graduated. You're like a
Thank you.
free
I
bird
feel
now.
so
Well,
old.
Yeah.
not a free bird exactly. Still got some MCATs ahead of you.
I mean, at least like some type of responsibility is like off of her. She can at least
Yeah,
like focus on like her MCAT preparation.
Yeah.
yes,
We had
exactly.
a doctor on here and he said that med school was much more enjoyable than
I've
actually
heard
like
so many mixed feelings. People are like,
Yeah.
the worst, it's going to be the hardest 4 years of your life, which I don't doubt. But like, I'm just fingers crossed that it's more enjoyable than undergrad, because like I loved my undergrad experience in terms of anything like extracurricular, but I
Yeah.
don't think I actually like enjoyed the classes that I was taking until the last year and a half or so, because everything else was like random gen eds and stuff.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
hopefully
Yeah.
med school is the same way.
I think it's like all about like work ethic and how much time you put into it. If you
Yeah.
like, if you have a really good passion to it, so I think you won't have a problem. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
something that's like everyone like struggles with.
Exactly. Plus,
Yeah.
then you get like excited to study for those classes. Like I know, this past semester I had this like genetics. I don't remember the name, but it was like some genetics class, and it was like the most interesting class that I've ever taken. And I was excited to study for that class. So I think as long as you're passionate about it, you're totally right. It makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember at genetics is apples on the tree, cars in the garage from like 9th grade biology.
Yes.
Let's go. I
Oh
need
my
a
God.
lecture in biology. Oh my God. But talking about passions, we all know medicine. We talked about this. Medicine's like one of your main passions. And then you also have modeling on the side. So
Mhm.
how did you really get started with that?
With modeling?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it like something you always thought of as a child, or was it just like by chance you're like, oh, okay, I feel like I want to be a model
So
today?
I definitely was not like that. I've always been interested in modeling my whole life, but I never really pursued it because a couple reasons. I never really saw any representation of like anyone that was South Asian or like any sort of person of color. And in popular media, I think the only person of color that I saw was Tyra Banks. I'm sure they existed, but like I never saw it.
Right.
And so I just never saw anyone that looked like me. And then the other part of it was like everyone that was portrayed in popular media was like tall and beautiful, and I was an ugly duckling, not gonna lie, growing up for sure. And I was pretty short. I still am kind of short. I'm like 5'5". So it just like wasn't something that I ever thought that I could do.
Right.
And then like it was just always something that I admired. Like I was like, okay, well, like I dream of doing this. Like it would be so cool. So I was definitely an art kid in high school.
Definitely.
So I had a bunch of friends that were like in the photo classes and stuff. And so when I graduated high school, I reached out to a friend of mine, and she was like one of the photo kids, and she was pursuing that full time as like her career.
Right.
And I was kind of hesitant, and I told her, I don't know if I could do this. Like I'm really scared, but like this is always something that I've been wanting to do. And she convinced me to give it a shot, and that's literally after that first shoot, I fell in love with it, and I've just been doing it ever since.
That's
It's
amazing.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
It's truly amazing. And
Thank
you said that you weren't necessarily comfortable in your own skin. How has modeling like kind of helped you
Get
shed
comfortable
like
with
that
yourself.
cocoon? Yeah. And just be comfortable with who you are.
Yeah. Honestly, like to be real, I spent the first like 16 years of my life insecure, and I think self-confidence is something that so many of us struggle with, especially in high school. I mean, we all feel like high school is like the entire world, and it's everything. And I feel like we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and so it's really hard to feel confident. And I definitely struggled with that as well for a really long time.
Right.
And modeling entirely changed that, and I'm so thankful for that. It allowed me to see myself from someone else's perspective and someone else's vision. And
Right.
it forced me to kind of understand myself and my body, and like pay attention to it more, because you had to, right? You had to know exactly what your body looked like from all these different angles and stuff like that. And so I don't know, I think it was just like a combination of, for some reason, while I was on my shoots, I was just always so comfortable, and I felt so like free, and I wasn't
Right.
self-conscious of how I looked. And I was always just so excited to get the shoots back, because or to get like the pictures back from the shoots.
Definitely.
Because
Yeah.
I always
think-
had such an exciting
Yeah.
experience.
It's like the excitement you get. I think it's like you give an exam and you feel like really good about it, and you can't wait
Exactly.
for the results to get back. It's
Yeah,
almost like that.
like
Even I feel
ex-
like that with my photography. Like it's so
yeah,
enjoyable.
it's so much fun. And literally at the end of every photo shoot I've done, like I've only had one awful experience, but I at the end of every photo shoot that I've done, I'm always like, when can I get the pictures back? I'm so excited for them. And I know that that's a question that like photographers hate getting because it feels like
Right.
you feel rushed.
Yeah.
But I
Mm-hmm.
always tell them like there's literally like no pressure here. I'm just literally so excited to get these pictures. Um, because
Oh,
we always
gee.
just end up having a really great time.
That's
Yeah.
definitely so true.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because like growing up in high school, like you're right, so many high schools they have like talking to other females, it's like they're always so insecure.
It's
And it's
awful.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's like,
I think they
okay,
care about more about like appearance, like how they look to others instead of how they
Yeah.
look to themselves. But again, it's like a high school thing. Like, it's like a teenage thing. Like you get comfortable with yourself over like your experiences and how you
Yes,
talk to others.
exactly. I think you definitely grow out of it a little bit.
mm-hmm,
But I also know like a lot of people that are my age. I'm 21, I turned 22 this year. I'm so old. But I know a lot of people that are my age that
right,
that still feel that same way. And I think it's just like at the end of the day, I think you just have to accept who you are the way you are. Life is too short to not like who you are.
Mhm.
It's so blunt, but it's so
mm-hmm,
true. Um, I don't know. I think it's really hard to make that like to come to terms with that. But I think as soon as you do, it's gonna change your
yeah.
perspective.
And it's also funny because like I watch interviews with like Victoria's Secret models. Don't know why. It's just like going down the YouTube rabbit hole and you end up
No, it's
somewhere.
interesting.
But it's like you like all the girls they compare themselves to them and they're like, oh, they're so beautiful. But like if you actually listen to them, they have their own set of insecurities. Even if you think they're the most beautiful woman, you gotta know no one's perfect and
Mhm.
they just kind of embrace who they are. And
Exactly.
that's so important because
For
it's like
sure. I think people forget that like I don't know. I've come to this realization that like people put model like when you think of a model, you immediately think of this like otherworldly being that is just this like super perfect version.
mm-hmm,
And I think people forget that like they are a real human and they also have their insecurities. And while you might not feel like that, and while you might not see those things when you look at them, they definitely see those things in themselves.
Mhm.
I know personally, for the longest time of my life, I hated the way that I looked when I smiled, and it
right,
was one of the biggest sources of my insecurities. And I have never in my life been more complimented on the way that I smile
mm-hmm,
in like than I have in the past like 3 weeks. And for some reason, like that has entirely changed how I view myself. But like
right.
it's something that like other people saw, and when those comments were first happening, I was like, "You're kidding! Like that's not how that works." Um,
Right.
Yeah, that's the case with me. Like 3 weeks ago, I got my braces off of like 4 years, and
I love it.
my confidence
Look at this
basis is
kid
like
smile.
gone up.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Look at his
It
smile.
because like
changes. It's
when I used to like people used to like take pictures with me, I was like I didn't used to smile. It was just like a bland smile, and then
yes,
now that I get it off, it's like I can smile now. Like my teeth can like shine. Like
yes. Oh my
yeah,
God.
like
I
I can tell I can like relate what you're saying.
it's
It definitely
so
like every time I smile, like people like notice now, like wow, you have a good smile, you have good like you have a
yes,
good facial structure, like
because
that.
you're so proud of it.
Yeah, like it's like the I think it paid off after 4 years. That's what it
Yes,
is.
for
Yeah,
sure. I also had braces for so long. I had braces, I had rubber bands, I had headgear, like
yeah.
the
I
whole 9 yards. I had it all. And I was looking back through my like childhood pictures. So because I personally didn't have any of them because
mhm.
again, I was so insecure. I deleted every picture that I had
Oh my
myself.
yeah. I don't have any pictures like with my braces. Like I barely have
Exactly.
any.
Right.
They don't exist. And then my mom dug out a bunch because obviously, like, parents have
Yeah.
everything. And so
Right.
when I graduated, my mom found a bunch of pictures, and I was looking through them, and like, I didn't smile with my teeth until I was like 15 years old. Like, they just didn't exist. And
Yeah.
then after that, like, you couldn't see, like, there were no pictures where I wasn't like, like smiling like the biggest person in the world. It's crazy, and it entirely changes the way that you like perceive yourself, and
Yeah. Definitely.
I
Right.
love it.
I need to get an Invisalign when I'm older. Never had
I
braces.
need to get Invisalign again. Listen, I had braces and then I didn't wear my retainer. Listen, wear your retainer.
Yeah, I wear my retainers. Like, the dentist like told me, like, she's scared me. It's like, if you don't wear retainers, it will go back to how it was. And then
Exactly.
every morning I wake up, the first thing I do is like put retainers on.
Yeah, I wish I wore my retainers because I probably need to get Invisalign again because my bottom teeth
Mhm.
are shifting and I hate myself for it.
Look at you both though, with those pang smiles.
She had the smile too. Look at you. You had
Nah,
no
bro.
problem with their teeth.
I need to get Invisalign. Never had braces.
But like you said, like, you felt like insecure like as you were growing up. But like, how were you like how did that confidence build up for you as you like started posting on, say, like TikTok, Instagram? Like, how did you like get comfortable with social media?
So I definitely was not, again, like I said before, like it was not always like this.
Mhm.
I think I know there was like some way that you can check how old your Instagram account is. I think I made my Instagram in like 2013, like when Instagram first came out.
Whoa.
Or it was like 2012 or something. Like it was super, super early. And so I was posting online a lot. And I think just because I've had this like online presence in some way or another, it's just kind of helped because I've just grown that thick skin, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I remember growing up, I had like, oh God, I'm trying to think. My Instagram was like a nail Instagram where I'd post like nail art and stuff.
Mhm.
This was like back in middle school. And then after that, it was a drawing account. And that drawing account got like relatively large compared to like how Instagram was back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like if you had a couple thousand followers, like you were popping.
Mhm.
And so at that point, like I was popping. And of course with that, it like comes with hate. And so I went through all of that with like the cyberbullying and stuff like that, like that shit was real.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I think going through all of that has just helped me come out of that with thicker skin, like with thicker skin. And now it just doesn't faze me, and I've just learned to post for myself because at the end of the day,
Right.
there's nothing that you can do that isn't going to make someone mad. Like if I post a video in like doing a dance, someone's going to have a problem with it, and if I don't, someone's going to have a problem with it. Like regardless of what I do, someone's going to be salty about it, so I might as well just do what I want,
Yeah.
Right.
and I think once you stop thinking about like, oh, what's this person gonna think, like, oh, like what are people gonna say, like you're gonna be
Right.
so much happier.
Yeah.
That's so
That's like
true. And I think, I think that just ties back together everything that we basically talked about your mental health and about how you view yourself and everything. Like people
Yes.
are gonna have their opinions, and if you keep thinking, and if you keep looking to people for validation,
Mhm.
you're not gonna be happy. You gotta like look within. You gotta be happy with who you are.
Yes. And one thing that I say all the time is comparison is the root of unhappiness. I didn't come up with that. Someone else did. I don't know who. But like it's so real because you can almost like there's so many people that will open up social media and they will immediately start comparing themselves to like whoever they see on their screen. They'll say, I wish I had that house. I wish I had that life. I wish I had that car. I wish I had those clothes. I wish I looked like that. And it just makes you feel so awful about yourself. And I think as soon as you come to terms with, again, who you are, and you realize that you don't need to find all of this like external stuff to feel happy, you're going to be so much better off.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so true. And yeah, you just got to draw the line. You got to realize if you have that unhealthy relationship and with social media, and you're like, okay,
You gotta
I need to
get
stop,
off.
chill
Yeah.
out, put it.
Honestly, what I've been doing is I've been blocking. Like, so anytime I'll go on social media and I realize that I'm comparing myself to someone else constantly and it's making like they're making me feel bad about myself, I block them or I unfollow them or I unfriend them because I don't need it. Like, I don't care if they're my friend from high school. I don't want to see it if it's going to make me feel bad about myself. And I think that's something that a lot of people have to realize, that there's nobody that's making you follow these accounts and stuff, and people are put so much pressure in like unfollowing someone. Like it's not that big of a deal, and at the end of the day your social media is for you. And if you're logging on to the internet and you're it's a terrible experience and you're feeling awful about yourself every day, like there's no point. It's not worth it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then also since we're talking about looking up to people and comparing to people, you mentioned how you had no one to really look up to in this modeling scene in
Yeah.
terms of women of color. Do you hope to be that for other females in the future? Not someone to compare to, but someone to look up to and follow in the footsteps of.
Mixed feelings. So I think to some extent I already am, whether I like it or not. And I mean
Mhm.
that in the least like cocky way as possible.
Right.
But I don't know, it like honestly kind of scares me. And I get so honored and so emotional whenever someone
Right.
DM me and they'll express how much I've helped them and all of that. But I don't ever want to be put on a pedestal as this perfect, as this like other perfect being. Like I don't want to be looped into that like image that someone has in their head when they think of a model. And I think
Right.
I try so hard to use my platform to break whatever that ideal is, because I want people to realize that like models are human like everybody
Right.
else. We also struggle with confidence, and that's why I try so hard to use my platform to teach other people about confidence. And so I think it's important to use your platform, if you have a platform, to educate and do good. But I think if I do become a role model, I
Right.
just want people to know and remember that like I am human and
Mm-hmm.
I mess up and I'm insecure. And I think as long as I learn from that and grow from that, that's what's important. I think any sort of like content creator nowadays, people expect them to be this like, again, this like absolutely perfect person that doesn't mess up or doesn't do
Right.
anything. And I think cancel culture is really weird, really real. And I think people forget that like you need to be able to mess up in order to grow, and that mistakes are inevitable and like growth is
Right.
going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I think kind of a little bit of a tangent, but yeah, I think as long as if I am considered a role model, I just want people to remember that like let me grow and let me like be the person that I want to be. That's fine, but just accept that like change is real, insecurity is real, growth is real, and I think after that, then I'm more okay with it, I guess.
Yeah.
Big words from an amazing woman. Let's go.
Thank you. Thank you so
But
much.
that's so true. And Garv and I absolutely hate cancel culture. We've had this
It's just
we've had this
it's pointless
conversation on
sometimes.
the podcast so many times before.
Yeah.
We think it's absolutely like okay,
It's
someone
horrible because
like
like you're not allowing that person to grow and to change in any way at all. If someone makes a mistake, the only way that they're going to learn is to educate them and to teach them why what they did was wrong.
right.
Um, and so that they can learn from it. And I think if they have diehard fans
Mm-hmm.
and that person gets canceled, then they learn that you can't grow from your mistakes. And
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mm-hmm.
that's terrible. I think that's an awful messaging. And I on like the flip side, there are people that like low key deserve to not have the platform that they have because of the things that
Right.
they've done. And I
Mm-hmm.
think they deserve to be called out for the things that they are doing, and that
Right.
they don't deserve to have their platform if they aren't going to learn and grow from their mistakes. But I also think that
Definitely.
once they do show that growth, like it's okay. Like it's not something that you have to constantly bring up and
Yeah.
stuff. Um, yeah, I don't know.
I
It's
think
really
platforms
frustrating.
such as TikTok are like really giving more space for stupidity to shine through. Oh my god. Some of the things I see on that app,
Yes.
that's why I've just gone ahead and set a 15-minute time limit on
Yes,
the app
yes,
on my phone. It was like,
yes, as you should.
Jish, you do not need this in your life. Oh my
Oh
god,
my
the For You
God.
page is absolutely cursed. I wish
There's so much like weird content on TikTok, and I have like a screen time limit thing on my phone as well, just because like
same,
you can just keep scrolling, and that's just how social media is. It's awful.
same. And how do you feel like TikTok has helped you kind of like put yourself out there more and get noticed more? Because you definitely have quite a big following on TikTok as well.
Sort of, relatively, I guess.
Yeah.
Both large and small, I guess. It
Mm-hmm.
just depends on how you see it. But
Yeah.
I don't know, something about the way the TikTok algorithm works, it makes it really, really easy to be discovered.
Right.
And unlike Instagram, where you where you're at, I guess, like your follower count and stuff really influences, like your entire account influences your ability to grow, and it's all kind of feeds
Definitely.
into itself. On TikTok, it's if this video is good, then it's going to do well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's as simple as that. Your past videos or anything like doesn't really affect the performance of that current video. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. That definitely makes sense. That's definitely something me and Garv are trying as well with the podcast, because on Instagram it gets kind of limited, and we're like, okay, if we post a TikTok video and it's decent, you're gonna get like 1,000 views. That's like increasing your reach by 1,000 instead of getting like 200 views on Insta. And it's like,
Yeah,
okay, we can
it's
try TikTok.
yeah, exactly. It's a lot easier to reach a larger audience on TikTok, but in terms of Instagram, it's a lot easier on Instagram to retain and I guess like interact more with your audience there.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, I mean, I could sit here and talk to you all day about like social media and analytics and stuff. It's so interesting for me because um, I think as I don't know, I think as someone that is creating content and that is doing
Mm-hmm.
this as like a side thing, it's important to understand those aspects because at the end of the day, like that is where your business occurs.
Right,
And
exactly.
so really being able to understand how to grow on those platforms and how to make the most out of those platforms and leverage them is going to take you really far.
That's literally so true. Social media has given us the power to not rely on connections. It's like
Yes.
we have a lot of power in our hands, and like we said, we just take in all the negativity from social media, but when you actually look at it in a positive light and see the potential of it, you can really become a something from a nothing. And really, okay, maybe
Absolutely.
you want to pursue music, okay, so you don't need a record label to sign you. You can go on TikTok, you can post a few
Exactly.
videos, and people are like, okay, I like this, and
Yeah.
they
I
start
mean,
following.
when you think about it, like in when you talk about like TikTok and how it influences the music industry,
Mm-hmm.
it's insane. Like, I mean,
Right.
Driver's License is a fantastic example of that. I don't remember the girl that made it, but
Olivia Rodrigo, right?
yes, her.
Yes.
Um, she had never produced music before in her life. Like, it was her first
Mm-hmm.
ever song, and the only reason I'm sure it would have done fine,
Right.
like, I'm sure it would have done okay without, like, TikTok and stuff because she is a somewhat of a celebrity. She was, like, on some TV show, but
Yeah.
because of TikTok and because of all of this, she was able to reach top charts, and she was able to have a huge influence on, like, in media, and it was insane. And I feel like nowadays, any song that's trending on TikTok, you'll instantly see it reach the top charts. Um,
Spotify, right?
Exactly, yeah, and it just goes to
Crazy.
show how much, particularly TikTok is really influencing, media right now and just, popular media in general.
That's literally so true. Oh my God. So
Yeah.
everyone listening, look at the positive side of social media. Don't get caught up in the negativity that surrounds the apps.
Yes,
Come on,
honestly, I
people.
think people are so hung up on, like, how awful TikTok is and, like, how awful, like, I don't know, there's, like, drama and stuff like that, like, it's
Oh my God. I
yeah,
cannot.
people are so hung up on those things, and
So
yes,
funny.
social media is an awful place sometimes, but I think if you make it like, you can really cater your experience. It doesn't have to control you like that. And I know personally, it's like I would not have the platform that I do have without social media at all. Like I wouldn't be able to help all these girls and boys feel more confident about themselves and who they are. And it's just like it's helped me be able to build these connections and meet all
Right.
these people that I would have never been able to meet without it. And it's so powerful, and I think it's really amazing.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
was talking to my grandma, so I just had to like go quickly.
I love it.
Sorry.
You're good.
That's hilarious, dude. When TikTok started and Charlie D'Amelio was getting the hype, there was like that thing called the hype house.
Oh
And it
my
would be
god.
like drama. It would be like, oh my
Ah,
God, did you hear Dixie got together with this guy? I'm like, dude, I don't care. Am I
not the
Dixie's
biggest deal.
boyfriend? Like, what am I gonna do? Is
Oh my
Dixie gonna
God.
come to me?
God.
Oh my God.
I don't need to hear this, but it's so funny. And also, just last point about social media and life in general. Like we made several points that reiterate this, but
Yeah.
if you think positively, you're gonna attract positivity. Like look at Ashna. She
Yeah.
was insecure about her smile, and then
Yeah.
people started meeting her with positivity, and she really started to look at herself in a positive light. That's just like
Really.
we have a living, breathing example of
Yeah.
positivity being a good thing. So people stop getting caught up in the negativity. YOLO. Like seriously.
YOLO.
I love how that's how you ended that inspirational speech.
Yeah,
YOLO it. There's nothing
Oh
else.
my God.
exactly. And now we have some like more lighthearted questions that
Sure.
people in front of the audience wanted to know about.
Yes.
So they wanted to know what your skincare routine is. What
I
is
get
the
this
secret
question all
behind
the
it?
time.
Yeah, your skin like looks like glowing.
Thank
It's like
you.
glowing in
It's
the
like
light.
glowing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I need
Thank
to
you.
get on some skincare. Stop
It's
using,
Yeah,
important.
you need
Skincare
to.
is so important.
stop
My
using body
skincare
wash on my face.
No, let her explain. Like,
Oh
let's
my
see what
God.
it is.
My routine is kind of extensive. Sorry, not expensive. So I won't sit here and like list out every product that I use because we're gonna be here forever.
You can give like a brief description of it.
Like yeah, so I'll go through like all the steps and stuff. But yeah, so I am in the process of like creating content about like each specific product. So like look out for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I do get asked this multiple times a day. Like I've never known that people would be so interested in my skin and my hair. Lately, everyone wants to know my hair routine. I don't know. It's interesting, I guess.
I think you posted a story the other day, or maybe a few days ago. I don't know.
I
About
don't
your hair.
know. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Um,
Continue.
But in terms of my skincare routine, there are a bunch of steps, but they're all affordable because I refuse to spend money on things that I have to repeatedly purchase. I just think it's wasteful.
Mhm.
That's just me, though. I mean, to each their own. But in terms of like general skincare, there's four main steps: cleansing, exfoliating, moisturizing, protecting. I think everybody should have those four. It's literally just like a basic cleanser, basic exfoliator, a lotion, and a sunscreen. If you're gonna have four products, that should be what they are. Cleansing will get rid of all of the like dirt and stuff from the day. If you wear makeup, then it'll help get rid of that. Exfoliating will get rid of all of that like built up dead skin. If you have any like dark spots or anything, it'll help get rid of that. Moisturizing will add that hydration back in your skin, and so you don't feel all like dry and stuff. People feel like if I have oily skin, I don't need to moisturize.
Mhm.
That's not true. If you have oily skin or dry skin, it just means that the moisture balance that you have in your skin is wrong, basically. And so whatever it is, you need to fix it. So everyone needs to moisturize. And then the most important step, if you don't get anything in, like if you don't get any sunscreen skincare products, the one product that you should get is sunscreen because it protects you from like harmful UV rays from the sun, so you don't get like dark spots, but also it prevents from like aging and skin cancer. So that's
Right.
important. And while we darker skinned people don't need protection from certain UV rays, we need protection from others. So sunscreen. If you're gonna get anything, get sunscreen.
Oh my God. I just learned that everything I do to my skin is wrong.
I
gotta
skincare
change
is like
that.
skincare is fun. Like you can get like your skin gets like nice, but also you
Yeah, and it's so rewarding because
Yeah.
like over time you're gonna see all of these beautiful results and it's just gonna
Exactly.
make you feel so much better about yourself.
Oh jeez.
And so listen, if you need any product recommendations, feel free to DM me. I'll be more than happy to help you out.
Yeah.
Definitely check her Instagram out.
Yeah.
We're gonna link it in the post
Description.
for this week. But
Sure.
geez, I need to start taking to my skincare.
Yeah.
I look
dude.
like a
Just,
25-year-old.
Just take out like $100 from your wallet for just skincare.
I don't know if I have
Get it.
that much.
Yeah.
We're going to college, about to be even more broke. Negative balance.
I mean,
Donations are welcome.
hey, you gotta.
Oh my god.
Gotta link my Venmo. But also like skincare, hair, you also like taking care of your body. So what's
Yeah.
your diet and fitness routine? Like
If you haven't.
That's a loaded question. So I get that question all the time. This one's a little bit more complicated to answer. So personally,
Right.
I've struggled with finding a healthy balance between diet and fitness, and that's something that I really had an issue with for a while. And so personally, if it's not enjoyable for me, I just don't do it. Like I won't work out
Right.
if if I start realizing that like this is starting to become a chore, I just stop because I know that if I keep doing it with that negative mentality, it's just going to turn into this negative thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just not going to be rewarding for me.
Right.
So I don't necessarily diet because again, I think the relationship that you have with food is incredibly important because it is something that I mean, we're constantly consuming every part of our day. Like
Right.
it's just how it is. It's what we need to live. And so I think if you don't have a healthy relationship with food, it's going to be really detrimental to you and your mental health. So I am vegetarian, and I generally eat pretty healthy, but that's just
Right.
because like I eat home cooked food, and that's just what I like. Um,
Definitely.
it's just my
Mm.
preferences. But I think all of that together has helped me eat pretty well. But with that said, it doesn't stop me from eating what I want. Like if one day I'm like really craving some Oreos, like I'm going to have some Oreos because I can, you know?
Mm.
Right.
I think when you say like, oh, it's my cheat day, so I'm gonna eat this, like it almost adds a sense of a guilt factor to those foods and it makes
Right.
this negative thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think labeling foods like that just it leads to such a slippery slope. And so I think at the end of the day, you have good food and you have fun food. And that's how it should be. Like bad food just doesn't exist because at the end of the day, you're feeding your body and you're nourishing it in
Mm-hmm.
one another. In terms of fitness, I try to work out a couple times a week. One of my best
Right.
friends has been training me, bless his heart, and it's been really helpful. I my general routine is alternating between upper and lower days. I usually finish my workouts with like a intense 5 minute ab workout at the end. But yeah, that's me. I try to not put too much emphasis on it.
Mm-hmm.
As probably a lot of other model excuse me, as probably a lot of other models do. Um, just because I feel like it can just lead to a really toxic mentality.
Mhm.
Definitely. That's so true. I relate to that so much. God bless me with a high metabolism, so I'm like
Yeah.
working out, having fun food, you
Exactly,
know.
fun food. That's what it should be.
But yeah, definitely trying. It's bulking season right now, so we're eating a lot.
God damn.
I love it.
I'm joking.
I love
But
it.
also, last question.
Yes.
We've had you for a long time. We won't
Yeah, you're
keep
good.
bothering you anymore. But last question was about your relationship and how you manage long distance.
It's hard. Let me tell you, I haven't. So right now, this is what is it? It's February 5th. The last time I saw my boyfriend was like March 25th of last year. So it's been almost a whole year. I probably won't see him for another couple months. So COVID has really made things hard. But I think in general, long distance is not easy to do. So if it's not something that you think that you can do, don't put yourself through that. I think it takes a lot of commitment for sure. Um, and I think it's easier to start a relationship in person and then take it long distance. If you
Right.
start a relationship long distance, that's going to be incredibly difficult because establishing like the level of trust that you need for that is going to be really hard. I'm not saying
Definitely.
it's possible because I know people have done it, but it's not as easy for sure.
That's
Um,
definitely so true.
I think at the
Wow.
end of the day, communication is going to take you the farthest because it's really hard to know what you want and express what you want when you are long distance because most of your relationship is with your phone and with your laptop at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're saying, hey, like, we need to talk more, like, this isn't like I need more communication here, say that. I like communication is going to take you so
Right.
far in your relationship. And it's important to set aside time for each other. If you're both really busy, make sure you can FaceTime at the end of your day and try to have special dates still. And so my boyfriend and I were so busy, both of us, but we say like, okay, once a month, we're going to get dressed up for no reason other than we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna go and we're gonna have our little mutual date night. And that's going to be us like, whether it's literally like getting Panera Grubhub to my house and we're gonna eat
Right.
together on Zoom, dressed up in like fancy clothes, like that's what we're gonna do because we need to have like that nice time. You know, like trying to keep up those traditions is really helpful. But
Definitely
yes,
so
quality
true.
time and communication will take you so far.
Yeah.
Amazing tips yet again.
Yes.
This episode is full of life-changing tips.
Yeah, just note it down. Note it down, bro.
I gotta learn that I gotta actually start using sunscreen. Oh my God,
Yes,
I've
use
been neglecting.
sunscreen. It's so
I've been
important.
neglecting sunscreen so much. I play so much cricket, so it's like,
Jeez.
Listen, come
oh my
on. If you're
God.
outside, even if you're inside, you have to use sunscreen because those rays can get through your windows. It's so
Yeah.
bad for your skin. And if
I'm
you
just,
have a whole if you have a whole skincare routine and you aren't using sunscreen, your skincare routine is useless. Listen,
I'm just
like
a dumb dude. I know all the information. I didn't do it. It's
now
alright.
you know. Now you know. It's
It's
okay.
alright. We're learning.
It's never too early to start. Never too late to
We
start.
are learning. Let's go. But
Exactly.
amazing episode, Ashna. Thank you for joining us. Any final thoughts, comments, anything?
Thank you for having me. This has been really fun. I appreciate it so much.
No problem.
Definitely.
It's always like happy to like get new people on and just share their
Absolutely.
experiences.
Yes. But thank you so much. And
Thank you.
peace out.
Thank you guys.
I
Bye.
gotta start the recording, boy.